Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at soundcloudstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SoundCloud Studios is the answer. SoundCloud Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@soundcloudstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. SoundCloud Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mosensia is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And don't forget to follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And also support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also support us on Anchor FM as well as PayPal. And for great gift ideas, including t-shirts like these, long sleeve, pop sockets, and more, go to amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, and also great books by Mian Mosensia, go to amazon.com/Mian Mosensia. You can also check out Missing, Once, and other books and order today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who is a singer. He's also fresh off his nomination for Best EDM Entertainer at the Chicago Music Awards, where he's not only a nominee, but a featured presenter for the Best African Entertainer Award. And this guy is a killer, literally. We'll talk more about that. And of course, he's also got some music like Soul Below, and he's got the latest where it's not the app, but of course, this guy just doesn't stop, and he does it with a beat. And of course, he's had over 300,000, 500,000, 750,000, a million streams on just a lot of his music and him overall. And of course, he's got a great story to tell as well, too. And, just an amazing inspiration. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Chicago in the Windy City, the very, very multi-talented EDM entertainer, also singer, songwriter, rapper, and just a great presenter, Dantes Alexander. Dantes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for putting so much respect on my name. Thank you. I am really, really happy to be here and to be sitting here with you and to just be talking to, all of the great listeners. I hope that we have a good time. I'm excited.
Well, I'll tell you, I can tell we're not just having a good time, we're having a great time, just talking about Chicago, pizza, the Windy City, and all kinds as well. Too, you came fresh off a nomination for Best EDM Entertainer at the Chicago Music Awards. Not only you were a nominee, but also featured presenter for the Best African Entertainer Award, in which you have a hit song which had just broken over 300,000 streams, and also you got a couple of songs coming up as well, too. And you're also... you have a fusion of R&B, pop and house music, and of course, you're also HIV positive, non-binary pop dance singer, and you appeared on Showtime's Work in Progress and She, which is over 114,000 monthly listeners. I mean, over 100,000. I mean, it just comes like magic as well, too. You just have an amazing sparkle of energy, and of course, most of your music got inspired and wishes to elevate the LGBTQ community platform, and just very courageous. And we're here to talk about it, and just love to hear your story. And before we get to all that, tell us how you got started.
Well, I how I got started, I guess I got started like everybody else got started, Mike. You have to have some life happen, in order to start somewhere, I think when we're, like fresh out of college, even before that, like high school, right? You think everything's just going to go the way that it's planned, that you plan, and you're going to be a singer and you're going to do this and nothing that's going to stop you. Well, there was a lot of life that had to be lived, in order for me to, even get here. Like most kids, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a man now. And my birthday was just 2 days ago now.
Well, happy
So
birthday to you.
thank you. I just turned 28. So I'm really,
Here you go.
really,
We celebrate and salute.
you know what? If I had some tea, I'd definitely give you a nice mug back there, because it was definitely a really good birthday. Especially when I begin to understand where I came from, and I went through broken home situations, and I grew up as a ward of the state. So I had a really rough upbringing, but also during that time, I also had a really great upbringing. I was exposed to a lot of different variants of life and cultures and things like that. So, yeah, that's me glossing over my how my childhood, and I guess where I came from. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And of course, you brought up earlier as well too. You had a plan, but things don't go as planned. I'm pretty much guilty of myself, just like many of us as well too. And some of the plans you had, and how do you manage to get through the obstacles?
I think in order to get through all of the obstacles that life throws at us, you really have to have a strong foundation. And I think that's why so many trees fall over, is because their roots aren't really planted deeply in the ground.
Hmm.
I draw a lot of inspiration. I sound like such a freak, probably a weirdo and a hippie, but I draw so much inspiration from nature and the bounty, that God has. And I think that really is the problem for a lot of people, is that they don't, have the support system that's necessary to make a transition to even do something that you want to love. So it's always about finding those who are similar to you, and reaching out, and doing that. And I'm just thankful that I have this platform to even share my story with the world, and hopefully be an encouragement, and you know encouragement. Oh, wait a minute, I said that wrong. Encouraging factor in someone's life. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And it sounds like you also, told me part of the amazing stories as well too, and maybe some stories of fact that with your background as well too, and also how do you manage to overcome, and how do you inspire as well too, that you being courageous, outspoken, and fluorescent, and of course there's like a dark aura, but you just make it light with epiphany. Of course, we're in a hard times right now, and just some stories maybe just to inspire. It's like, like say for example, you got bullied or something, or because where you lived is like you're only a person, let's say somewhere in Chicago, like say I'm trying to think of a suburb, like say Schaumburg or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I was really, growing up, I was always the outcast. I was very gothic, and like into dyeing my hair and changing my hair, and I guess like most teenagers usually are. But it was a bit different for me, because I was black and darker than everybody else. So when you do stuff like that, it's like, oh my God, he's lost his
Oh,
mind. What is he doing?
oh, oh,
Ah!
oh, exactly. It's almost like double standard. It's just like say somebody dyes their hair yellow. It's like, yeah, cool. But then I dye my hair, you dye your hair yellow. They're like, what are you doing? That
Right,
sort of thing. It's just like, especially in anything, clothes, cars, houses, like, some people like, oh, that's a great car. You get the same car. Yep. Where'd you get that car? What are you thinking? It's a type of double standard. It's nowadays, it's like you're faced with all these situations. Now it's just like, how do you manage to overcome double standards? Try to say, if it's okay for you, if it's okay for you, how come it's now okay for me? It seems like that's rarely ever addressed in today's society.
I mean, I don't know why it's like that. I mean, I don't know why it's like that. For me, since I make music, I get a lot of inspiration from the music. I mean, music is really like the soundtrack to our lives. And when musicians write, and these are all things that I've just started to discover as I wrote my songs that are out now, and as I continue to write things that are unreleased, that people tend to write from a honest perspective.
Hmm.
If you're a writer, you usually try and write from an honest, unbiased perspective, right? Because only you can walk in your shoes.
Right.
But with that, you know there is somebody out there who has a similar pair that you do,
Mhm.
and a lot of people don't think about that. That was actually kind of cool how I worded that, right? um
It did that really well. That's why you're a songwriter. That's why, or just a writer. Period. So that's why.
it I like to think of like Tracy Chapman. Like I love a lot of older music. I'm a very retro guy. And I guess that's because like I grew up not having like a lot of those things. That like now like I'm an adult, and that I finally have some money, I can go and buy a Nintendo and buy all of the Power Ranger toys that I wanted as a kid, that my parents and all of that stuff couldn't afford, and that the group homes couldn't afford and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hmm. And also too, you talked about music as well too. You talked about Tracy Chapman and some of the other retro artists as well too. And who are some of your other favorite artists, musicians, and singers growing up besides the ones you mentioned?
Oh wow. Where do I start? I mean, well, I have my holy divinity, and my holy divinity are my five. Okay.
Hmm.
I love well, here, hold on. I'm gonna pull something off from the side here. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
So I absolutely love,
Michael Jackson. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
I
Amazing.
absolutely love Michael Jackson. 1 second. I'm moving and adjusting here. And
Okay.
then I also love
That is
Janet Jackson.
Janet. Okay. All right. Yeah, you had a little bit of a reflection there. I couldn't see the name, but I could tell that you're in the under a Batman logo, and we love Batman. I got to say this. I'm Batman.
Yes, so you know where we're going with that. We love Prince as
Hmm.
well. And that's what's so cool about what it is that I do is, like I interact with a lot of my fans through social media like Facebook. Well, not so much Facebook, but like Instagram. And you'd be surprised at how original people think things are. But for me, being in this position is very important for me to, bring, light to, those who have, um, come before us. So like I said, I like Michael Jackson. um, I absolutely love, Janet Jackson, LaBouche. I love LaBouche. Taylor Dane, Madonna. I'm going on and on, like Little Richard, and I absolutely love Little Richard because, um, I think had he, you know, been here in my age during this time, I think he would have been a fucking superstar.
Hmm. I think there's no question too that he actually pretty much revolutionized a lot of the R&B back in the day too, and of course
Oh
Chubby
yeah.
Checker revolutionized, and then you also had like say with I'm trying to think Bo Diddley, and then you had what was it God, I'm trying to think let's see, I'm just oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the other one, James Brown, and
Oh, he's a guy. He's another favorite of mine. You know what was great about him though was he was just a fabulous band leader. You
mhm.
know, not very many musicians know how to actually read music.
Yes, yes. And of course that's been the big thing as well too. It's like, they rely on machines, rely on computers and all that. And the old days it was just basically taught with sheet music, and you had like so many beats, so many rhythms, and
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
times,
yeah.
one half, two two fourths, or like five fourths or three fourths, and all that. So it's like, that seems like that art's gone, but nowadays like everybody just does on a computer.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I am very much about trying to go to the studio as much as possible. I may, the song idea, may actually start, on my computer. But I know that it must go through the machine, and you know what I mean by the machine.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the
you
machine.
know, the
Get
machine,
out,
and
auto tune. Get out.
it has to go through the machine to get ready to go to war. So the studio is very important. But as time kind of progresses, I think what will end up happening is we're starting to see like a shift of some of the consoles are actually now being all touch. Like I
Mhm.
saw like, just a few days ago, and now that's something else that I have to learn because I'm so used to using the traditional.
Yeah, yeah. The monster. What was it like? A 64 channel board or something, or it's like
Yep, exactly. It's 64 channel. Yep, yep.
128. It's like I was used to seeing those, and I envision myself there. Now it's just like it's just compact down to like this size and everything. So it's like you pretty much eliminate most of the channels, but the essential ones are just about the size of a shoebox.
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. You know your music.
Hey, I'm right with you, brother. I'm right with you. And Dantes, what was that one precise moment that influenced you into what you're doing today? So, think back, the times you went through and the times you say got on stage or whatever it is. It's like, what was that one precise moment in your life that simply said to you, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my career?
Yeah. Well, I always have memories back to growing up as a kid, in a group home. And when I say group home, like most people think of like one single home, and but this particular situation was more or less like a college campus with like 25 different houses with an upstairs, with 24 kids, 12 upstairs, 12 downstairs. So it was really structured like a little people's college campus. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I all of my memories from that time, like when it all clicked into place for me, we would you know, every year, the group home that I lived in, and only the group home that I lived in, performed in front of the whole entire, campus. We would do, Black History celebrations, pretty much any little, you know, you, little juvenile, look at me thing. You get what I'm saying. Um, but I mean, but they worked us really hard. They worked us really, really hard. I mean, um, and they worked us, so hard and so good that it became like an annual tradition.
Mm.
And then we started getting, so good at it, that we were just known as like we were the talented house.
The Talent House. I like that. I think they'd be a good name for an agency. The Talent House. I like that.
Actually a good idea, the talent house. That's great, right? That's good. That's good. That's pretty good.
Oh my goodness. And of course, with all that talent, it took it to Showtime and also got you some best awards as well too. We'll talk about it in 1 minute, but first listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at SoundCloudStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time for official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mosensia. If you love fast paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for some great gift ideas and some great t-shirts like these here. Go to amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, tote bags, and all kinds of goodies, and books by me and Mosensia like Once, Missing, and more, go to amazon.com/me and Mosensia and order today. We're here with the terrific singer, songwriter, very multi-talented Dantes Alexander here on the Mike Wagner Show. Waves hi to his fans and talk about his very interesting background as well too, and also with the talent that he also had built up. Living in a group home, he was fresh off his nomination for Best EDM Entertainer at the Chicago Music Awards. Not only a nominee, but also featured presenter for the Best African Entertainer Award, and also featured on Showtime's Work in Progress and She. And of course, his song Killer has gotten over 300,000 streams. And he also got So Below and TikTok Beat Don't Stop. And many of his works have gotten at least over 100,000, and some have gotten 500,000, 750,000, and looking up to 1 million as well too. And tell us about some of the awards that you have gotten lately as well too. So it's so amazing.
Well, you know what? I haven't won anything yet, but being nominated sure does feel like you won something, even if you don't win. So I'll say that.
Well, I'll say you won. You won my heart. That's for sure. You won in my heart. So.
Well, thank you. I won in my heart too. So it's okay. But no, seriously. When I found that out, like it was a really good thing to actually wake up to. I think it's one thing when you go out of your way to say, hey, I'm gonna solicit that nomination or or what have you. But for you to get nominated by your peers and people who are in the industry here, in the Chicago business, is a really good thing. It's a really amazing thing. It still is. I'm just grateful, and I look forward to being nominated for many many more awards. We'll see. So Below is an amazing song. It's still doing extremely fantastic. I want to say who knows where that is right now. I just know that it's over the moon. TikTok is doing phenomenal. TikTok Beat Don't Stop. That's doing great still. So we'll see. Because the quarantine really kind of pushed a lot of award things out. Some things were canceled or what have you. So there's a lot of different things that could potentially come. And I'm still going to release more music. So yeah, I'm excited, and I'm just grateful to have it.
Mm-hmm. And also you also appeared on Showtime as well too, Work in Progress and She. And tell us about those. And if you got any other music you'd like to talk about, more appearances and more, you can tell us about as well.
Well, I actually was on Showtime's Work in Progress, so I'm not sure if our listeners are familiar with that. Our viewers are familiar with that. So Work in Progress is actually filmed here in Chicago. So I literally had, I want to say, well, I actually worked on that show for about seven days.
Wow.
I know, right? That's a really good thing. Thank God, like my face was looking good, my makeup was looking good, and they were looking for some sizzle, just a little sizzle. And and I ended up getting bumped up to like a quick little feature, where face, there's my face. Which was really, really awesome. And then I also very vividly remember shooting the scene where Julie McSweeney is in the hospital. I don't remember the call sheet exactly, but I do remember shooting the scene where she was in the hospital, and so I got to talk with her and push her down the hallway to have her fake surgery. And so it was a really, really wonderful experience. It was a show that really kind of brought some very different, like, gender variant relationships out into the open. That a lot of people don't know about. So the show is literally about a a lesbian woman who falls in love with a trans man.
Mm.
So yeah, right.
Hmm.
It's very meaty, and then also the humor of it is 180 almonds.
180 almonds. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can handle 180 almonds.
You got to watch
I
the
mean,
show
not
or
even
you have to
one.
watch the show. You have to watch the show in order to in order to get the almonds. It's a funny thing. I did just recently see some information about casting for season 2. I would love to, obviously, partake in that, if the opportunity, presents itself. So, but yeah, I was really happy to do that, and I also did The Shy. So I think I heard you say the chi. Yes, my chi and energy is very strong.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yes, you have a lot of chi for chai and chai for chi. So it
so
comes
I mean,
together very nicely.
oh, thank you. Yeah. So I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed that. But music is my love. Music is my first love. It allows me to express myself unabridedly and be in control of the narrative, probably more so than a filmmaker could be. I can take my listener on a real intense journey and be the navigator of that story that I wish to tell without it, being um saturated or watered down. Does that make sense?
Hmm. I can see what you're saying. You're pretty much reinventing the whole thing, just like you're reinventing the EDM sound, just taking it to a whole new level.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like again, we talk retro, right?
Right.
Um, I mean, what's age have to do with good music, right? And borrowing from the past in order to make something new. And it's authentic when you are, include yourself, you know. It pays homage to those people. Right? You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yes, exactly it. And what can people come away with watching those programs and also some of the music? What can people come away with, or what's the message you're getting out there? What can people learn from it?
well, I think the most important thing, about kind of all of my work, really, they've all kind of correlated between each other.
Hmm.
With So Below was kind of written, about isolation and being secluded away from the world. And then also, on a more deeper level, it was also something that I wrote with regard to me taking, my HIV medication,
Hmm.
because it does get really, really hard to, especially when you're busy. For anybody who takes medication, it's really busy for you to be consistent with that when your life is, so busy.
Oh
Um,
yes.
so that's really how that song. I don't think I've actually shared. I think you might be the first person that I've shared that with. Everybody knows that that song was written about isolation, but I don't think people know that that song was actually written about HIV.
Hmm.
But I mean that's really my ultimate message, is to be aware and to um just spread love, really. I mean, I want people to even though we're in COVID and we're focusing on that, but we have been living with literally for AIDS and HIV, longer than I've been alive. So, and I would like the pharmaceutical companies to try and be more proactive with their approach instead of managing. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Right, right, yeah. So in other words, it's like you're basically wanting the pharmaceuticals to promote more cures and just simply just make money off of people when some of the cures can be worthless too, or just has a complete opposite effect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because there are a lot of people who have, gone through the ringer, and myself included, with this disease. Every day is not a good day for me. I had, dance rehearsals last night and, did everything wonderfully. And, a few hours later, like, my neuropathy was kicking in, you know.
Mm.
So there are a lot of different variants to being HIV positive or even having AIDS, and so I just want to just let those people know, anyone who has an autoimmune disease, that they're not alone, and you can make it, with a little strength and a little patience, and just making sure that just stay the course.
Mhm. And it's best to stay, of course, as well too. And just a couple of things here before we talk about your future as well. You got an amazing future. And what are the lyrics you mainly based on? So you wrote about Killer and also Soul Below and TikTok Beat Don't Stop. What else you base your lyrics on when it comes to music?
Well, I mean, I get inspired by sometimes by the simplest things. I wrote a song that was partially inspired by The Matrix 2.
Yes,
Um,
I love The Matrix.
um, so the lyric is, excuse me. So the lyric is, turn the ignition, expand your mission, let the Lord lift you up into the sixth dimension. So that lyric was I wrote that song. There was the sequence in The Matrix 2 where Morpheus was coming back to Zion, where they were coming back to Zion.
Oh
Remember that?
wow. Okay.
And Morpheus had addressed the cavern, and kind of like in a pastoral way, right?
Yes, pastoral. That's right.
My legion, we are safe, we are, God is great, God is good, and let us party and give thanks for this beautiful, day. So
Mhm.
that's what that's what that song was wrote about. TikTok Beat Don't Stop was actually just me trying to be cute with, TikTok.
Yeah, and of course, my day, TikTok was just simply the pendulum just going back and forth. Now, TikTok is basically a new app where you just like you go like this, you get manufactured and everything else.
Yeah, that was me just trying to be funny, and but I wanted, I wanted like a feel good, like repetitive, like syrupy, sugary, sweet song,
Mm.
and I think it worked well. I kind of incorporated some acapella in it towards the end, so it's electronic, but it has a lot of organic elements to it, like finger snaps, and
Hmm.
we incorporated some stadium sounds and noises to kind of give the appearance of me, being in a stadium. So again, like we just talked about, I like taking my listeners on a nice imagined journey, because like with each song, um, I can literally take you to another place if I make sure that the book is written the right way.
Hmm. And that's very fantastic as well too. Where can we find your music at, Dantes?
So you guys can actually search me on Spotify, just Dantes, Dante, the little apostrophe. You want to hit that E and hold it so you can get that little swoop, and Dantes on Spotify, or you can just Google Dantes Alexander.
So it's like the accent. So I was trying to figure out how to get the little accent up there too. Now I know the how to do it. You hold down the E and the accent pops up. Now
Yeah,
I got it. Okay.
yes, the accent pops up.
Accente gu, accente gras. So we do that. So, and what's coming up for the very wonderfully talented Dantes Alexander? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for early needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Motsensia of Missing, available on Amazon paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented singer-songwriter from Chicago, Dantes Alexander, after
Mhm.
this time out. We're back with singer, songwriter, and multi talented Dantes Alexander out of Chicago here on the Mike Wagner Show. Fresh off his nomination for Best EDM Entertainer at the Chicago Music Awards, where he's not only a nominee, but also feature presenter for the Best African Entertainer Award, and also has a number of songs out there, which is well beyond 100,000 and keep climbing. And what's coming up next, Dante? And we'll find out what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Dantes.
Oh wow! Well, in 2021, I am honestly just looking forward to getting out there and going on tour, seeing all of the fans that and listeners that I have out there, because there are a lot of fans and a lot of listeners um, who are ready to party. I think everybody is ready to, be in social again. We've been socially distanced for so long, but we,
Hmm.
you know, and then outside of that, I also plan on releasing, 3 more songs this year. So we're looking at right now, we're looking at April
Mhm.
for one of three singles. I don't want to give away too much because, as you
Right.
know, the artist always changes his mind. Um, so, because I've actually, the problem is that I recorded so much last year that I am now in favor of all of my new material because, like you mentioned, like you rap. I mean, so there's a lot of options. So I just want to make sure that I put out a song that's actually going to be appropriate for the time. You know what I mean? And I want it to be warm, and I want there to be love, and I want joy, and I want there to be peace.
Okay.
There to be goodwill.
It sounds like I'm looking forward to it as well, Dantes. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
The biggest person that I would, yeah, Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson. And the only reason why I would say Michael Jackson is just because there was just a high level of commitment, and there's nothing else to be said.
Mhm. And that's amazing as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I always like to say, like we were referring to the trees. You have got to water your seed if you want your tree to have strong roots. And if you don't, there are a lot of people who give up. A lot of people lose the magic or are afraid of trying to find that magic. And the magic is just simply, right, that inner drive. So plant the seed, and continue to water. And if you plant the seed and you don't water and you forget about it, nothing will happen. But that's my advice, and I hope that's some good advice.
That's excellent advice as well, too. Once again, we're with Dantes Alexander, singer, songwriter, very multi-talented out of Chicago, and Mike Wagner Show. Dantes, a very big thank you for your time. You've been
Thank you.
absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on 2021 and beyond. And tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Yeah, so if you guys would like to keep in contact with me or anything that I'm doing, you can go to dantesalexander.com or instagram.com/dantesalexander for all of the latest updates.
That's fantastic. Once again, Dantes, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific.
Thank you.